If you're over 60 and your vision has started to blur, you're not imagining it. You're not just getting older. Something real is happening. Maybe you've noticed you can't read the labels on your pill bottles like you used to. Maybe driving at night feels unsafe now. Or you've caught yourself asking someone else, "Can you read that for me?" That's how it often starts, with little things. But over time, those little things turn into big losses. You stop driving, you stop reading, you stop doing the hobbies you used to love. And the hardest part? You start depending on other people for basic things, shopping, cooking, even finding your way around the house. Many of my patients tell me the same thing. It's not just about my eyes. I feel like I'm losing control of my life. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you are not alone in this. And no, going blind is not your only option. For people with high eye pressure or glaucoma, vision loss can feel like a slow countdown. Every visit to the eye doctor is stressful. Every blurry moment brings up the same fear. Is it getting worse? Will I lose my sight completely? I've seen this anxiety up close for more than 30 years. And while medical treatments are essential, there are also natural ways to support your eyes right from your own kitchen. I'm not talking about miracle cures. I'm talking about real, science-supported remedies that help reduce pressure inside the eyes and support healthy blood flow to the optic nerve. And that's what we'll explore today. 5 natural options that are safe, gentle, and friendly for people with glaucoma or high eye pressure. I'm Dr. James Porter. If this is your first time here, welcome. On this channel, we focus on natural, effective ways to protect your health and independence after 60. If that matters to you, consider subscribing. It's completely free. Now let's take a look at the first remedy, fennel tea. Let me ask you something. Have your eyes ever felt heavy by the end of the day? Like there's a pressure building behind them, almost like a dull, steady weight? That's more than just tiredness. For many people over 60, especially those with glaucoma or elevated eye pressure, it's a daily discomfort, the kind that creeps in slowly and stays. You rub your eyes, close them for a few minutes, maybe even lie down, but it doesn't really go away. That's the kind of eye pressure fennel tea can help with. Fennel is that little seed you might recognize from cooking. It has a slight licorice-like flavor, but when brewed into a warm tea, it becomes something much more powerful. A natural, gentle anti-inflammatory for your eyes. Let's break it down simply. When eye pressure rises, part of the problem comes from fluid inside the eye not draining properly. That fluid buildup adds tension. Over time, it starts pressing against the optic nerve, the cable that sends signals from your eyes to your brain. Fennel contains compounds like anethole and quercetin that have been shown to reduce inflammation and support fluid movement in tissues. Think of it like this. It helps loosen the tightness around your eyes and supports better flow without any chemicals or side effects. And the best part? It's incredibly easy to try. I remember a patient named Marjorie, 68 years old. She came to see me after struggling with eye pressure for years. She was already taking her prescribed drops, but still felt a constant ache behind her eyes, especially after reading or watching television. We talked about her lifestyle, her stress levels, and small things she could do to feel better. That's when we added fennel tea, just 1 warm cup in the evening. It wasn't overnight, but within 2 weeks, she came back and said, "My eyes feel more relaxed. I didn't even realize how tense they were until they weren't." Of course, she kept taking her medication, but that small addition, a simple, calming cup of tea, became part of her evening routine, and it made a real difference in her comfort. Now, I'm not saying fennel tea will replace your glaucoma treatment, but if you're looking for something safe to add to your daily rhythm, something that supports your eyes without risk, this is one of the best places to start. So how do you use it? It's simple. You can find fennel seeds at any grocery store or natural market. Use about 1 teaspoon of crushed seeds per cup of hot water. Let it steep for 10 minutes, then strain and drink warm. Once a day is plenty, ideally in the evening when your eyes are most tired. No sugar, no honey, no milk, just the tea. Let your body feel the calm. It's a small ritual, but sometimes small things done consistently make the biggest difference. In the next part, we'll look at something a bit more concentrated, a berry extract from Europe that's been studied for decades for its role in eye health. But for now, maybe make yourself a cup of fennel tea. Your eyes might just thank you. If fennel tea is the warm, gentle start, then bilberry is the next step, more concentrated, more targeted. You might not be familiar with bilberries. They look like blueberries, but they're darker, smaller, and grow mostly in Europe. And for decades, they've been used to support vision, especially night vision and blood flow to the retina. So, why does that matter for people with glaucoma or high eye pressure? Let me explain. The eye is filled with tiny blood vessels, delicate but essential. When pressure builds up, it can reduce circulation in those vessels, especially around the optic nerve. That's where bilberry comes in. Bilberries are rich in anthocyanins, a type of antioxidant that's been shown to strengthen capillaries, reduce oxidative stress, and improve blood flow in the retina. In simple terms, it helps the smallest blood vessels in your eyes stay open and healthy, so nutrients and oxygen can reach where they're needed most. And better circulation means less damage to the optic nerve over time. A few years ago, I had a patient, Ken, 71, who worked as a truck driver most of his life. He said his night vision had been declining steadily. Headlights looked blurry, and shadows on the road were hard to see. His eye pressure wasn't dangerously high, but his doctor told him to start watching it closely. We added a bilberry extract to his daily routine. Just 1 small capsule in the morning. Within a few weeks, he told me, "Doc, I'm not saying I see like I did in my 42nd, but I'm not as anxious driving at dusk anymore." That's what we want, small wins that add up, confidence, control. You can find bilberry extract in most pharmacies or health food stores. Look for one that provides around 80 to 100 milligrams of anthocyanins per day. That's the part that matters most. I usually suggest taking it in the morning with food, since it can support blood flow throughout the day. One important note: if you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor before adding bilberry. It's natural, yes, but it still affects circulation. The takeaway here is simple. If you want to support the fragile blood vessels in your eyes, especially if you're dealing with pressure-related damage, bilberry extract is one of the best natural tools we have. In the next section, we'll look at something ancient but powerful, a herbal leaf that improves blood flow not just to the eyes, but to the brain as well. When we talk about eyesight, we often focus only on the eyes. But here's something most people forget. Your vision depends just as much on your brain. Think about it. Your eyes don't actually see. They capture light, send it through the optic nerve, and your brain does the rest. If there's not enough blood flow to the visual centers in the brain or to the optic nerve itself, your eyesight suffers. And that's exactly where ginkgo biloba comes in. Ginkgo is one of the oldest living tree species on Earth. It's been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years. And in modern research, it's been studied for one key effect: improving blood circulation, especially to the brain and eyes. For people with glaucoma or high eye pressure, this is especially important. When pressure builds up inside the eye, the optic nerve, your eyesight's lifeline, starts to suffer from reduced blood flow. Over time, this leads to nerve damage and permanent vision loss. Ginkgo doesn't lower eye pressure directly, But what it does is support better blood flow through the tiny vessels that feed the optic nerve and brain, keeping those pathways nourished, even when pressure is higher than normal. It also has powerful antioxidant properties that protect nerve cells from damage. That's why researchers have been exploring its use for glaucoma support, memory issues, and even early-stage cognitive decline. One small study showed that patients with normal tension glaucoma who took ginkgo extract had improved visual field performance, meaning they could see more clearly in their peripheral vision, which is often the first area affected by glaucoma. Now let's make this more practical. You'll find ginkgo biloba in capsule form at nearly any pharmacy or supplement store. What you want to look for is a standardized extract, often labeled as EGB 761 or similar at 120 milligrams per day. Usually taken in 2 doses of 60 milligrams, morning and evening. It's best taken with food, especially for those with sensitive stomachs. And as always, if you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor first. Ginkgo can interact with those medications because of its blood flow enhancing effects. I had a patient not long ago, Carla, 74 years old. She wasn't just dealing with early-stage glaucoma, she was also noticing forgetfulness, slower thinking, and feeling mentally foggy. Her son had to read her phone messages out loud because she'd missed the small text. We added ginkgo alongside her usual treatment. Within a few weeks, she said her eyes didn't feel as tight, and she felt more mentally alert during the day. Again, it wasn't dramatic, but it was noticeable. That's the point of natural support. Not overnight change, but slow, steady improvement. For those dealing with pressure on both the eyes and the mind, ginkgo biloba offers something unique, a way to help both systems at once. Coming up next, we'll explore something you may never have considered: a special oil that supports eye health through the power of omega-6 fatty acids. It's especially useful for aging eyes and tired retinas. But for now, take a moment. You've already learned 3 ways to gently support your eyes and your independence. And that's something worth building on. There's a part of the eye we don't talk about enough when it comes to glaucoma and aging: the retina. It's a delicate layer at the back of your eye where light becomes vision. And when those tiny cells start breaking down, often from inflammation, you slowly begin to lose clarity. That's where black currant oil steps in. Most people are familiar with omega-3 second, but few know about a rare omega-6 called GLA, or gamma-linolenic acid. Black currant oil is one of the richest natural sources of GLA, and this fatty acid is especially helpful for the eyes. Why? Because inflammation quietly damages the retina, even when your eye pressure seems stable. GLA helps calm that inflammation, protects retinal cells, and improves the health of tiny blood vessels behind your eyes. In plain English, it helps your eyes feel less irritated, less dry, and better nourished from the inside. One study even found that people who took black currant extract maintained better peripheral vision over time, an area often lost first in glaucoma. That's huge, because once you lose parts of your visual field, there's no getting it back. I remember a patient, Joe, 76. He'd been treating his glaucoma for years. His eye pressure was okay, but he kept saying his eyes felt tired and his vision looked washed out. We added black currant oil to his daily routine. After 3 weeks, he said, "My eyes just feel more comfortable. I can watch television longer without rubbing them." Not a miracle, but enough to make his days easier and his evenings less strained. If you're considering it, here's what to know. Black currant oil comes in soft gel capsules. Look for one with about 100 to 150 milligrams of GLA daily, usually 2 capsules with meals. It's gentle, rarely causes stomach upset, and doesn't require any mixing or prep. That makes it ideal for older adults who want something simple but effective. It's also a good option for those who don't tolerate fish oil well. No aftertaste, no burping, no smell, just quiet support for the back of your eyes. As always, if you're on blood thinners, speak with your doctor. GLA supports circulation, and it's better to be safe. The goal here isn't to replace your treatment, but to support your eyes where medication doesn't always reach. Because pressure is just one part of the story. Nourishing the retina and optic nerve is just as important. And blackcurrant oil does exactly that gently, from within. By now, you've probably heard that turmeric is good for you. But what most people don't realize is how powerful it can be for your eyes, especially if you're living with glaucoma or high eye pressure. Let's talk about inflammation. When it comes to glaucoma, pressure is only part of the problem. The real damage often happens when pressure leads to chronic inflammation, especially around the optic nerve, the cable that sends visual signals to your brain. That inflammation can slowly kill off nerve fibers, reducing what you see little by little. And once those fibers are gone, they don't grow back. This is why turmeric deserves a place in your routine. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound with powerful anti-inflammatory effects. It's been studied for everything from joint pain to brain health, but it's also showing promise in eye health, especially in protecting the optic nerve. Several lab studies have found that curcumin may help reduce inflammation in retinal cells and optic nerve tissues. In simple terms, it helps calm the fire before it burns out your vision. Now, turmeric isn't a pressure-lowering agent. It's not meant to replace your eye drops or prescription medications. But it can help create a less hostile environment inside your eyes, which means less long-term damage. And one of the simplest ways to take turmeric? Turmeric water. Not pills, not fancy extracts, just warm water and ground turmeric, easy, gentle, and effective. Here's how I usually recommend it. Use about 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder in a cup of warm water. Stir well. You can drink this once a day, ideally in the morning or after lunch. Add a tiny pinch of black pepper if possible. It helps your body absorb the curcumin much more effectively. Some people like to add lemon or ginger. That's fine, but the base is simple. Warm water plus turmeric plus black pepper. It doesn't taste amazing, but the benefits can be worth it. I had one patient in her early 72nd who added turmeric water to her routine. Within a few weeks, she noticed less tension behind her eyes at night and better sleep. Small change, but meaningful. A quick word of caution. Turmeric thins the blood slightly, so if you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor before adding it. Also, don't go overboard. More isn't better. Stick to small amounts daily and give it time. The best healing often comes from consistency, not intensity. Turmeric water won't fix glaucoma, but it can help protect the cells that matter most, your optic nerve, your retinal tissues, and the fragile structures that make vision possible. And for something so simple, so safe, and so accessible, that's a powerful thing to have on your side. So now that you've learned about these 5 natural remedies, how do you actually use them without turning your week into a science experiment? The good news is, you don't need to take all of them every day. In fact, I recommend spacing them out, one simple thing at a time. Let your body ease into it. For example, start your week with a warm cup of fennel tea in the evening. It's a gentle way to calm your eyes after a long day. The next day, try a bilberry supplement with breakfast just once. That's all. Midweek, sip on turmeric water in the morning. It might not taste great, but it helps cool inflammation from the inside. On another day, add blackcurrant oil 2 capsules with lunch. No preparation needed. Just swallow and you're done. And maybe once or twice a week, include ginkgo split between morning and evening if your doctor says it's safe for you. You don't have to do everything at once. Even just 2 or 3 of these, rotated through the week, can gently support your eye health. And don't forget rest. 1 day a week. No supplements, just sit down, close your eyes, and place a warm compress over them for 10 minutes. Let your eyes relax. Let your nervous system breathe. This isn't a strict routine. There's no perfect order. But by picking one small action per day, you give your eyes what they need without overwhelming yourself. Print it out if that helps. Write it on your fridge, or just start with what feels easiest. Because when you care for your eyes consistently, you're not just protecting your vision, you're holding on to your freedom, your confidence, and your way of life. And that is worth showing up for. If you've stayed with me all the way to this point, I want to say something very simple: thank you. It means a lot, because I know how much noise is out there. And the fact that you chose to spend this time focusing on your health, your eyes, and your future tells me something important about you. You're not giving up. You're not settling for just getting older. You're still showing up for yourself, for your independence, and for the people you love. And that's what this has been about from the beginning. Because vision is more than eyesight. It's your ability to recognize the smile of your grandchild, to read your favorite book, to navigate your kitchen without fear, to walk outside and see the color of the trees. It's about dignity, connection, confidence, freedom. And even if you're facing challenges, high eye pressure, early glaucoma, or blurry vision, you are not powerless. There are things you can do. Natural, gentle, science-supported steps that help your body protect what matters most. Small actions. A cup of tea, a capsule in the morning, a few quiet minutes with your eyes closed. And slowly, those actions build into a foundation, one that keeps you steady, clear, and independent. If this video has helped you in any way, if it gave you new ideas, or even just a bit of hope, please consider doing 3 simple things. Like this video so more people can find it. Share it with someone who might need support. Comment below and let me know, which remedy are you most curious to try? And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. It's free and it helps you stay connected to simple, natural strategies for aging well without the noise or the hype. You're not alone in this. And as long as I'm here, I'll keep sharing everything I've learned in over 30 years of practice to help you stay strong, sharp, and in control of your health. Take care of your eyes. They're not just how you see the world. They're how the world sees the best of you. I'm Dr. James Porter. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.